Welcome to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Siobhan Gubin. Here are the stories that we're following today, August 27, 2013. In Trinidad and Tobago, Acting Commissioner of Police Stephen Williams reads Riot Act for corrupt police. The Bahamas to hold talks with Cuba on illegal migration. In Jamaica, unfair route taxi operators protest against 25% increase and cabbies protest against police treatment. And in Guyana, political spike caused closure of local airline. Details on these headlines and more when we return.
Hey, excuse me, if you see me smiling, that's 'cause I'm chilling on Total Caribbean Network. It's your boy Wyclef John, man, and I'm chillin', man. Total Caribbean Network. Man, I love their style. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Welcome back to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Siobhan Gubin. This segment of the news is sponsored by Total Caribbean Network. In Trinidad and Tobago, Acting Police Commissioner Stephen Williams has given the assurance that corrupt police officers will be prosecuted and expelled from the police service. And I quote, "As an organization, we have to work hard at fixing the image of the police service to move it from a negative image to a positive one. We have to do cleaning up. That is why we have to investigate any complaint against police officers and, if necessary, prosecute these officers." Williams was speaking on the Showdown talk show program on I-95.5 FM. His comment was in response to a newspaper report which stated that 2 junior police officers were being investigated for leaking classified information to gang leaders in East Port-of-Spain. The report stated that officers of the Criminal Gang and Intelligence Unit were investigating the 2 officers who were assigned to the Port of Spain Division, who allegedly leaked information on recent anti-crime exercises in the division. Police sources said that the officers had been transferred to police stations in the Western and Northern Divisions for the duration of the probe. While admitting he did not read the report, Williams said, and I quote, "I feel hurt. It is something I have known about for the very onset of joining the police service." The service intends to investigate and prosecute corrupt officers and to ensure that bad eggs are not recruited. Williams noted that the service was the only one in the country which required polygraph tests in its recruitment procedure and said the test was a means of tightening up the quality of persons entering the organization. The Bahamas government says it will hold talks with Cuba on the illegal migration of nationals from that country. And I quote, "A negotiating team will leave the Bahamas as early as the coming weekend to meet with the Cuban authorities in Havana with a view to settling the modalities of how there can be a quicker turnaround of migrants to Cuba." And I quote, "We expect that a new agreement will be in place shortly," said Foreign Affairs and Immigration Minister Fred Mitchell. Mitchell said he will also meet with the Cuban foreign minister in Grenada in early September to discuss the matters directly. Mitchell continued, and I quote, "We began discussions with the acting foreign minister when the national security minister and I met in Havana earlier in the month. We have had helpful discussions within the past week with the government of Panama. Our mandate is to ensure that the detention center is empty of inhabitants, migrants, detainees as much as humanly possible." Mitchell, who spoke to reporters ahead of his visit to the United States on Monday, where he will hold talks with the U.S. State Department and as well as hold meetings with the staff at the Bahamas Embassy. Mitchell added that he spoke with a retired Justice of Appeal and along with Prime Minister Perry Christie. They are in the process of settling the terms of reference of the review of the investigations that they expect within a week. He said that they are seeking to have the review of that matter settled within 30 days thereafter, and that in the meantime the detention facility is being repaired, and in a few weeks the Ministry of Health will be supervising any effort to sanitize and paint the existing dorms. Earlier this month, the government noted quite a lot of misinformation regarding the detention and repatriation of migrants in the country. It said it would not participate in any discussions with protesters in Miami and that it would hold the protesters responsible if something should jeopardize the safety and security of their personnel and facilities in Florida. Mitchell confirmed that 24 people, all Cuban nationals, were repatriated on August 16th, making a total of 64 for the year so far. He said there are 20 others who will be returned home shortly, and that 275 Haitian migrants were returned to Haiti last week as well, making a total of 1,848 repatriated so far this year. Mitchell, along with National Security Minister Dr. Bernard Notage, last week met with the Special Envoy of Panama, Ambassador Guillermo Cortés, to discuss the issue. In Jamaica, scores of route taxi operators who operate in and around sections of Halfway 3 in St. Andrew yesterday withdrew their services to protest against the fare increase granted by the Transport Authority last week. According to the taxi drivers, who are represented by the Jamaica Association for Transport Owners and Operators, JATU, the 25% fare increase can't help them. Barton was speaking in Halfway Tree where more than 30 taxi operators parked their cars, demanding that their concerns be addressed. And I quote, "The increase that was granted was done to suit the Jamaican Urban Transit Company and not taxi operators," said Craig Brown, one taxi operator. Edgerton Newman, national coordinator of JATU, described the increase as unfair. The JATU members said they were also protesting against what they termed unfair treatment by the traffic police. Yesterday, police said they started an aggressive drive in the corporate area to clamp down on illegal taxi operators who were overcharging commuters. The operation saw Island's Special Constabulary Force and Transport Authority personnel deployed to various bus and taxi routes. Some of the routes included Halfway Tree to Papine, to Honey Park, and Washington Boulevard, Mountain View Avenue to Halfway Tree, downtown Kingston to 3 Miles, and Harbor View. However, the protesting drivers claim that they do not fall within the group of illegal taxi operators and that they are being unfairly targeted. They also said that they were being removed by the police from a section of Halfway Tree close to Mandela Park, which was designated for them. In Guyana, a former head of the now defunct state-owned Guyana Airways Corporation has blamed government officials for the current aviation woes gripping the country. Former GAC General Manager Fazal Khan is adamant that political spite rather than financial or operational problems forced the closure of the airline back in the late 90s. And it is one of the major reasons Guyanese are paying exorbitant prices to travel up north. The former aviation official is convinced that Guyana's current state of affairs is one that could have been avoided with the continuance of the prosperous and developing state-owned carrier being preserved and prized for its functioning and importance to Guyanese travelers. Khan believes that he was pushed aside as head of the GAC for expressing his reservations about one political appointment. According to Khan, he realized that the lack of forward-thinking management would destroy the GAC, and he therefore gave the then powers some 8 months to reconsider their position of removing him. But he said that reconsideration never occurred. The airline was eventually sold, and within less than a year, the airline was in total chaos, Khan charged. He said that prior to this, the state-owned entity had been making strides. Khan continued that despite huge expenditures, GAC was making $3, $4, and $5 million pre-tax yearly. He says, and I quote, "We had very good junior and senior staff. People were sent for university education in marketing, aviation management, and diploma courses." He boasted that as far as he's aware, Guyana Airways was the first regional airline to offer free headphones and alcohol on board the aircraft. He continued that Guyana Airways grew to fly 5 flights to New York and 3 times to Toronto weekly, while trips increased during peak summer seasons, with North American Airlines having to be chartered to aid the influx of travelers. GAC was able to increase its fleet of planes under his stewardship. Khan said for the first time in the country's history, there were local pilots who were captains on jets. He argued that while Guyana is begging CAL to lower airfares and for better treatment, GAC was ideal for Guyanese. For now, Guyanese remain hostage to the only airline going north from Guyana. Much anticipation has grown with the emergence of Fly Jamaica, a partnership between Guyanese and Jamaican investors. The charter is already flying Jamaica-New York route and is expected to do the same as soon as the FAA gives approval, bringing some competition to the CAL-dominated routes. You're watching Caribbean Affiliate News. We will be right back.
Take your car out. This is awesome.
It's time to grow up.
You're crazy.
Little while
Faster, go faster. Come on, stop.
It'll all be alright.
I raised my son to be careful,
Hey, sweetie. Come on.
but just to be safe,
So don't you worry.
I got a Subaru.
Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Coleman Subaru, 1710 North Alden Avenue, Ewing, New Jersey, or ColemanSubaru.com.